Good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital. This is the Nightly Strategy Podcast for February 17th, 2021. The daily reports will come out as soon as we can fight our way through the internet here in Kansas. Quotes are still downloading. So I'm going to give you the market debrief now and then follow up with the report commentary once we get that done. I'll get that done as soon as I can. All right, so today we had a fairly large gap down into the dragon and turned around and closed fairly strongly for the day price action north of the dragon. It only penetrated to the spine, but everything else is still solid and shaping up. We're between Z2 and Z1. We've got a 3.16% stretch from the 10-day high to the 10-day low, which is here. Yesterday, 2 days ago, was way down here. On the 30-day stretch, we've got 6.56% going from the 30-day high to the 30-day low. Here are our 2.5% sell-offs from the swing high and the 5% sell-offs. We have a comfortable margin here. The slope of the 30 started to stall a little bit today. The PSAR is rocking steady. Tomorrow, the PSAR price will be at 383.50. We are still locked into this tight range of opening and closings here. Let me mark that off for you. This is like a solid congestion level here. We're waiting to see which way it wants to break. But other than that, I mean, all systems go. It did not fail any further today, and the dragon continues to act as support, as did the river. In the sectors, let's see what we got today. So in the sectors, we had the S&P basically flat for the day. The Dow was up a third. Treasuries had a little rebound of 2/3. IWM was in the red at minus 0.8, and the Qs were also negative at minus 0.48. Emerging markets basically co-equal with the Dow, flat at 0.03, I should say. The sectors that worked really well today. So we had S&P, biotech, healthcare, staples, and finance, and silver and discretionary, all between 0.35 and 0.58. So pretty broad-based outperformance there. We had Mexico oil exploration up around 1%. Energy was the standout today at 1.5. The blockchain cluster, Bitcoin, blockchain, and Ethereum, all between 4.5% and 7.5%. Strength in the energy companies and material companies here, with Devon Energy 4%, Cliff 3.38. Amazon shaking off the doldrums at 1.2. Now on the negative side today, sectors that underperformed. Materials minus 0.05, Japan and Brazil minus 0.14 and 0.33. Broad tech was down 0.88. The stock market completion index 0.9 is 0.9. The FANGs, except for Amazon, down 1.5. Commercial real estate, Simon Property Group 1.6, ARC Genomics 1.6, lithium minus 1.6, ARC Innovation and VIX down 2%. Marijuana 2.7. Wheat and precious 2.9. And then PBW continued its slide. It was much worse earlier today. That was not an impressive move in PBW today. So I exited the balance of my swing position on that, and I'm waiting to just stalk it when it finds support. There was some intraday support and some buying pressure, but still not very persuasive. Let's see. A couple early movers that really paid off nicely. This one was, this is IWM. Had the big gap down from yesterday's close, sold off within 10 minutes, got the crossover of the baby dragon, got the P1, got the RLXD, got the PSAR flipped. I took an entry right here at the VWAP at 223.50. And then this one moved up and got up into yesterday's critical state. So that was a pretty reasonable early morning hook. And if you're following along at home, you know, your stop should be like this. So on about a 50-cent stop, maybe 60-cent stop. And you're getting 2-to-1 when it comes back up to 224.75. That one worked out pretty nicely. Clean Energy had the same thing, although the sell-off was even sharper. It wasn't a gap. It was just really a sharp sell-off right from the get-go. And then, again, bottomed out, crosses the baby dragon, enters the dragon, winter turns to spring. The PSAR flips right there. That's just your standard entry with a risk box of about $1. And this one moved up $1 and $1.50, and it was just turning into the summer. So this got all the way back up into here before it pulled back. So there's your trade. If you make that trade, you're not going to lose money on that position. It was legit to have considered adding a second position here when the price and the RL10 cross the VWAP and cross the Bollinger Band mean. So that's all legit. Or if you wanted to wait further, I wouldn't, but you could wait until you see spring turn to summer. Here was one in Bitcoin. The whole Bitcoin cluster had great strength all day today. Here's your early in the afternoon, like around lunch, after an upward move. Here's a sideways quiet channel that has become a Z3P. This is your entry on the Z3 pinch breakout. Here's like a COTA 2 second entry when it crosses and holds above the VWAP. If this one got you out, I wouldn't be surprised. But if it does, then this has got to get you back in because that's a COTA 2. Same thing here. If this gets you out, either this one or this one, then this has to get you back in. And then there's nothing but joy all day on Bitcoin. This one is crucial on IWM. I want to zoom in a little bit closer. This was that move that we just looked at, and I told you about your entry here. This is IWM early in the morning, or actually later in the morning. But what you have is you have a low and a higher low in the RL10. And then if you're using the dragon, you have a low and a higher low. And then you have a PSAR flip here. Now, there was a PSAR flip available here, and this trade wouldn't lose money if you just took a 1, 2, 3 exit, right? But the one I really want to show is this one, the COTA 2 entry. And the reason that's such a good entry is you've got, it's a supported spring crossing for sure because of the sell-off and the recovery and all the signals. And winter has now turned to spring. But it also crossed the Bollinger Band mean, which is now sloping up. The winter turns to spring. It crossed the RL 270. And again, it's got that COTA 2 plus an SSC. Now here's another one where you have a measured low, a higher low, the PSAR flip, and you either get the entry right in here as a pure COTA 2, or if you just wait until you get up into here and you wait for the VWAP to get crossed, I'm not offended by that, and that's actually like a Z3 pinch breakout. But either one of those two is a really nice pattern. So if if any of these exits got you out from your initial trade here, and one of them should, then you have a really nice reentry here. You could have lived with a reentry here, a scratch, and then a reentry again, and then this one took off and did well. All right, those are the pieces I want to cover. I'll get the reports cranking here just as soon as I can. That's my single most number one priority right now. We'll get that out, and I'll get some commentary going for you. And I'll let you get back to work, looking for your continuation patterns, and really playing protection, making sure you've got good protection on all your stops right now, because the market is getting a little wobbly right now. If we look at this, price action here, I'm just feeling a little bit concerned about this price level here at the spine of the dragon. It hasn't really broken out much from there, and it's been testing that repeatedly. Now, I like that it bounced today and off it goes. And if it goes tomorrow, well, then there's no worries, and there's our all-time high already at 394. But I am concerned that if this breaks, then it's a quick run down to the 10-day low. That's my concern, and a 2.5% sell-off. So I just feel like this space under here is very vulnerable, and I don't. If I got a swing position in SPY, I don't let that. I don't let that go any further. So I got your attention. So let's hit. I want to hit PBW real quick. That was the worst guy in the stack. That was just not good today, right from the get-go. Gave back, 10 or 15 days worth of goodness. Now this is that nice little rebound intraday, but all that did was get back to the PSAR. From these lows, it just got to the PSAR and held. And the real nice moves of the day were that early negative price action. And so here was this was the supported spring crossing I took. But then in here, not later than here, you got to take that second collapsing dragon. You might have taken this one when it rejected the VWAP, and you'd be happy with that. But this is the short you really got to get. And even if you don't get a second position till this collapse, that's a nice move down too. And then you have, of course, a nice COTA 2 in here for an afternoon trade. But PBW was very tradable today. But on a larger note, I'm just really concerned about its health. This may be the end. I don't know if it's the end of an era, but it's come down one great big price level and is testing this right here around 120. And I'm not gonna. There was no way I was gonna let the swing position that I had from in here fail all the way back down into here. So I took some off up in here, took some off again Friday, took the rest off today early when the PSARV was violated. So that's what I want to leave with. We'll get this published and posted, and I will add the other one to it. And then off we go. We'll see you in the chat room tomorrow.